Okay, back with a family favorite today. I'm making fig bars, which are similar to fig Newtons, but using fig jam that I created from my parents' figs last summer. So what I'm going to start with is 50 grams of softened butter and, well, turn my scale on. And I bake a lot, so I pretty much know that a little less than half a stick of butter is 50 grams. Then on top of that, I also need 40 grams of light brown sugar, a little too much, okay. Then I'm going to take these and I'm going to dump them into my stand mixer. Sorry for the camera movement and quality and everything. I'm using a different camera while my other one charges. Alright, so I've got these in my stand mixer. Now I'm going to blend them together until they're a really good mixture. So this is basically what you're looking for, is the texture of creamy brown sugar. And if you don't have one of these tools, this is actually from KitchenAid, and it's meant to help you scrape down the sides of your stand mixer, and it is wonderful. It works really, really well. So anyways, now we have these creamed together. Now we're going to shift over and work on our dry ingredients. So next is adding my flour, salt, and baking powder. I need 175 grams of flour. Let's see if we can get close here. Whoa. Okay. And then we need a 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder. Okay. And a pinch of salt. Now we're going to sift all of those into the bowl. So we don't have a great way to do this. So I'm going to carry on sifting this, and I'm going to add it to my mixing bowl with my creamed butter and sugar. So I just wanted to show you the difference in texture between the sifted flour and the flour in the bowl. You can see it's a much finer texture, it's much powderier, and that's going to make a much difference. So now that I've added my dry ingredients into my stand mixer, I'm going to mix this for 3 to 5 minutes until everything is incorporated. Now we'll show you what that looks like in just a minute. You can see it's been mixing for about 2 minutes, and it's much more of a coarse texture, more sandy-like now. I'm going to add my vanilla and an egg. It calls for 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. So put 1/2 teaspoon and 1 egg. See if I can do it one-handed. Maybe, maybe not. This is a duck egg, so I did make my life a little bit more difficult. Got it. Alright. Now we'll put this down. Make sure you lock it. And give it a whirl. So now you're just mixing until all that liquid is incorporated. And you can see it's gotten all mixed together. Alright. Now I'm just going to transfer this to some plastic wrap and make sure it's wrapped up really well and put it in the fridge for 30 minutes. Okay, so the next thing I need 500 grams of fig jam. So this is jam that I made. I think this was last year's batch. My parents get a ridiculous amount of figs every summer and have to use them somehow. So I think this is going to take these 2 half pints. So if you've never opened a canning jar before, I don't know if you can see this or not. They get you one of these fancy little tools. Let's see if we can get to 550 or thereabouts. Yeah, that's going to be close enough. Okay. Left a little bit behind. Okay, we'll call that close enough. Now I'm going to add a half a teaspoon each of cinnamon and ginger. Okay. Then I'm going to mix this all up and put it in the fridge to sit until my dough has finished chilling. My dough has had 30 minutes to do its chilling, as well as my fig filling. I've turned my oven on to 375 and getting it preheated. Now I'm going to take my dough and I'm going to cut this in half and use 1/2 at a time. Okay, put some flour down. Okay. Rolling tin, get a good dose of flour on it. Now I'm going to make a rectangle that's 25 by 10 centimeters. So luckily this silicone mat that I'm using has measurements on it. So I'm going to take it over and I want 25 long by 10 wide, so just a little bit more in length. Okay. And that puts us just over 20, so that's a good place to start. And now we're going to start going sideways. In this direction I'm looking for 10 centimeters. So let's see where we're at. Pretty much perfect. And a little bit further that direction. Take some of this over here to fill in the gaps. I want to make this more solid on the ends, like so. Alright. So, now that we are, let's see how wide we are. We are we're about 12 wide and right at 25 long, so I actually can go a little bit longer. Make sure this little piece sticks there. Alright, so the next thing I want to do, I want to make sure I have enough flour under it that it wiggles around like it just did. And you can cut this straight if you want to. I don't have a need to at the moment. So then you're going to take half of your mixture, your jam mixture, and to jump it. Ooh, that's probably way more than half. Let's see if that's alright. That puts us right at half. Now you're going to take and smooth this out into kind of a snake shape is what you're going for. And try and get it nice and even so that all of your bars will be about the same size. Okay. Alright, now the next thing is to get your fingers wet and run it down the edge. So I want this to be my top edge because it's the pretty one. Get this nice and wet so that it's sticky when you roll it over. I'm going to dry my fingers off real quick so that I'm not sticky. Then I'm going to roll this side up and over. Parts of it are going to try and fall away. That's okay. It's very forgiving. Brush some of this excess flour off. And bring this side up like so. And make sure they overlap. And give it a good push to make sure it's going to stay there. Okay, then I'm going to flip this baby over like so. And cut the ends off even. Don't have to do that if you don't want to. And then start cutting. So I like them about 1.5 inches. And I'm going to place them over on my pan, on my baking sheet. Just get them all cut. And it's okay if some of your jam spills out. That will be just fine. And then 2 smaller ones out of this one. Okay, now I'm going to do the exact same thing for the other half. And then we'll get these in the oven. I'll show you what they look like on the pan. So that's what they're looking like. And then I'll get them in the oven for about 10 to 12 minutes. Okay, so I got the bars all done. Now they're going to go in the oven at 375 for 12 to 15 minutes.